Now on Denver 7 News at 6, 2 boys shot steps from a Denver high school, and police are searching for the shooter.
You go to school to learn, not to deal with stuff like this.
We saw a boy fall to his knees.
We're talking to one woman who rushed to help.
It's another Denver 7 Weather Action Day. More record-breaking heat in store this afternoon, near 100 in town this afternoon. The good news is we're going to be about 20 to 30 degrees cooler tomorrow. Details on an ice cool front coming up.
Seattle should cheer them on.
Russell Wilson's old teammates are weighing in as the countdown is on to the showdown with his former team on Monday Night Football.
And say cheese. We're celebrating National School Picture Day with some throwbacks this Thursday. I should have said
Look
say
at those
cheesy.
haircuts.
Yeah,
Oh.
no kidding.
Oh man, does anybody buy the wallet sizes anymore?
No.
That come
To
in
pass
these
out?
sticker-
I
Yeah.
do.
You do?
Yeah, my girls, yeah, because
Yeah?
they're funny. Yeah, I think they're cute and little, yeah.
I don't know. I had my old school pictures I went through for this, and I found like all the wallet sizes. I'm like, I guess I didn't have any friends.
Yeah, they just pass them out. Huh? Okay.
Because I still have them all. So,
Yeah.
oh well. Oh well. Happy Thursday to
yeah.
you. One more day, guys. That's what we're saying today.
One more day till we get to the weekend. One more day of the extreme heat. We've got a nice change
Yeah.
coming our way.
It's good all around,
Yeah.
all around. Yeah, hot though again today, which is why we issued another Denver 7 Weather Action Day. A pretty shot there from our Viero camera out east, but it's going to be another bright start to our day and another hot afternoon. Right now we're expecting low to mid 80s as you get out the door by 10 o'clock, mid 90s as early as 1 o'clock. So it's actually going to warm up a little faster than what we saw yesterday. More sunshine again this morning. There will be a little increase in cloud cover this afternoon, but it's almost a repeat. Some near triple digit heat. It's going to be another record breaking day for us here in Denver, our third this week, 70s and 80s for the mountains. So some hot conditions. The good news is things are changing. Coming up here in just a few minutes, I'm going to show you just how much cooler it gets tomorrow, plus the big change that's in store. Jason here on Saturday.
And our first crash of the morning, the first highway wreck of the morning, is on the southbound side of I-25 right here at Santa Fe. So if you're trying to make your way south on I-25 to exit Santa Fe, you might want to stay on the highway, exit at Broadway, take that to Mississippi or down to Iowa to access Santa Fe again. Take a look from Air Tracker 7, and you can see this is where the ramp accident is on that southbound side. So one lane is getting through, but it's backing up traffic all the way back to nearly 6th Avenue now. So it's mainly that right lane. That's why I suggested going in that left lane, exiting at Broadway, avoiding this altogether, and then getting back on over to Santa Fe. So the overall drive time across downtown is just a couple extra minutes, but you would save yourself some time exiting the highway. The rest of the drive looks just fine, north, south, east, or west. No other big problems and no late construction.
Well, anytime we hear about a shooting near a school, we panic, of course. Fortunately, this one wasn't the worst case scenario. 2 boys are recovering this morning after being shot near East High School in Denver.
It did prompt a lockdown at the high school, though. Denver 7's Veronica Acosta joins us live this morning from where it happened. Very busy area on East Colfax. And Veronica, Good Samaritans had to rush in to help.
They did, and you know, this morning some East High students, they might be a little impacted by everything that happened here yesterday. It's exactly why the school is going to have counselors on campus. I mean, take a look at just how close these two spots are. You have the rec center here behind me on one side, and then just on the other, you have East High right there. You guys, we looked it up. They're only about 800 feet away from each other. Listen to what that witness had to say.
Maybe 5 minutes after the fight broke out and was, finished, like 5 or 6 shots came, boom, 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 like that. And we saw a boy fall to his knees. The whole staff, including our clients and everything, ran out there to assist the juvenile. I actually was the one holding, I took his shirt off and hold pressure on his face until the ambulance got there. So we were attending to him. There was no exit wound. It was just right in the cheek right here. Got shot in the face.
So you saw it?
Yeah, I saw it up close in person.
Shelly Martinez, who you just heard from, she actually works in the barber shop that's right across the street from the rec center. She says she saw a big group of teens gather, and then she saw the fight starting. You can see from this video just how massive that police presence was. Lots of cop cars there after those shots rang out. Denver police say they haven't been able to arrest anyone after this happened here in front of that rec center, but they are searching for a suspect or suspects. Anyone with information, you're being urged to give Crime Stoppers a call. We're live in Denver this morning. I'm Veronica Acosta, Denver 7.
Yeah, somebody knows something. A lot of people there. All right, thank you, Veronica. Turning to our Denver 7 Weather Action Day coverage, because of the heat today, dozens of Denver public schools will be closed or letting out early once again because they don't have air conditioning. One of those schools is Bradley International. We heard from parents who are frustrated by this situation.
So many families don't have options. There are so many people who don't have PTO. They don't have paid time off. So what are these kids and their families doing? Is anyone home? Are they safe?
Yeah, it is certainly an inconvenience. You can find the full list of schools closed or closing early right now on denver7.com. Despite the early closures, though, many school sports teams are going ahead with their plans for practice or even games. Several junior varsity football games are being played tonight during our heat advisory. Some schools and coaches use the new heat index as kind of a benchmark of what to do in those situations. Others use what's called the wet bulb globe temperature. That takes into account not only the temperature, but the humidity, the wind speed, the angle of the sun, the cloud cover. So for example, yesterday at 2 p.m. when the heat index was 95 to 99 in the metro, the wet bulb globe temperature was only 83 to 85, mainly because the humidity was low and there was some cloud cover out there. But at that temperature, coaches are told to provide rest breaks for at least 4 minutes. Reducing practice times or removing pads doesn't happen until that wet globe temperature gets to 87. So we wanted to know more about what it takes to increase safety of playing sports or working outside on days like today.
Yeah, some people can't avoid it, of course. Lisa, you talked with the National Weather Service about this. We would think because it's a dry climate here that we'd be better off, but that's not always so simple.
We're better off, but yeah, you can still deal with heat exhaustion because what happens is that with evaporation, it's a cooling process. With it being so dry, our sweat evaporates a lot faster than it would, say, in the south where you've got obviously a humid climate, but it's still the deadliest weather event for us, heat across the country. In fact, typically around 150 deaths every year. So take a look. It does happen, obviously, here too. You know, you think, I can go out for a little bit. I could go have fun, but it causes a lot of stress on the body.
What we've been missing is the fact that a lot of people are made ill and sent to the hospital just because of overexertion on these hot days, even in dry places like Denver. That even though you're sweating and your body's trying to cool itself off, you can overexert yourself when the temperature is 100 or 105 degrees like we're having in Colorado this week. And that can still make you sick.
It can. So again, another heat advisory today in effect from 10 until 8. It covers the entire metro area, all of northeastern Colorado. Things to watch out for: heat exhaustion versus heat stroke. With heat exhaustion, you want to get to a cooler area. Drink lots of fluids. You can be feeling dizzy, thirsty, see some heavy sweating, even getting sick to your stomach. When it becomes really dangerous, again, heat stroke, that's when you want to obviously call 911. If you're confused, dizzy, and unfortunately, if you see someone become unconscious. So you guys, it can be very dangerous, and this is luckily our last day of it. I'll show you just how much cooler it's going to get coming up.
Thank you, Lisa. Of course, pets also can have some problems in this heat, especially if they're older or overweight. And it also depends on the breed. This is interesting. Flat-faced breeds like pugs or bulldogs have a lower tolerance to heat. If you take your dog outside today, watch for signs of heat stroke like rapid panting, thick, sticky saliva, any weakness or dizziness, and of course, vomiting or diarrhea.
And with everyone cranking up the air conditioning these days, it is putting pressure on our power grid. Xcel Energy had to lock tens of thousands of customers out of their smart thermostats to help ease that strain. Those customers had opted into a money-saving program with the company, and we wanted to settle the age-old question: is it better to just leave your AC on throughout these hot days or turn it off when you leave your house? Well, a PhD student at CU Boulder's School of Engineering says the answer is simple: turn it off.
It saves you a lot of energy to not run your AC when you're away from home. There are a couple concerns about the immediate impacts of everyone turning on their AC at 5 p.m. every day that are maybe a little bit more nuanced, but overall it will in fact save you energy.
And there are some tax incentives to make your home more energy efficient. Thanks to the Inflation Reduction Act, you can get a rebate for new appliances or tax credits on new windows, doors, and insulation that are energy efficient. And you can follow the forecast anytime on our website, denver7.com, or by downloading the free Denver 7 Plus app for your streaming device.
Some breaking news overseas right now. Queen Elizabeth is under medical supervision. Buckingham Palace put out a statement saying doctors are concerned for Her Majesty's health. Britain's new Prime Minister Liz Truss says all of the UK is deeply concerned. The Queen has been dealing with mobility issues for about a year since a brief hospital stay last October. She's 96 years old. Also breaking right now, Secretary of State Antony Blinken is on an unannounced visit to Ukraine. He stopped in to visit with patients and doctors at a children's hospital in Kyiv. He also announced another $2 billion in U.S. military and humanitarian aid. All right, the Broncos will be back outside practicing in the heat today after taking a nice day off yesterday.
And today we also expect to hear from Russell Wilson about going back to Seattle to open the season. A big game for him. And one of the questions is how he will be received by Seahawks fans after playing there for 10 years and winning a Super Bowl. Well, Seattle team captain and receiver Tyler Lockett weighed in.
At the end of the day, you got to be able to separate the man from the player. And you got to understand that everybody's trying to do what's best for them. And all you can do is hope that they win and cheer for them to win. And so, I mean, that's really how I feel about it. I think that Seattle should cheer him on, you know, for everything that he's done, helped bring a Super Bowl to this community, all that different type of stuff. Like, he's an amazing guy.
How about that level of respect from a former teammate, now opponent? The Broncos-Seahawks game is next Monday night right here on Denver 7. Our pregame coverage starts at 5. Kickoff is at 6:15, and then stick around for our postgame show right after.
All right, blame the pandemic. The company behind a Colorado theater chain is now filing for bankruptcy.
And take a look at that guy. What a handsome man. We get ready to see more smiles from our younger years for National School Picture Day coming up next.